My name is Thomas Vinje. I had the honor of being one of the founders of ECIS. It was founded in Paris in September 1989, so next year, September, will be our 25th anniversary. So we've been a thorn in the side of many over a long time. In the beginning, I think we were quite a substantial thorn in the side of IBM. I'll look at Maurits and Jonathan and others here. And from my position, I would at least claim that IBM had a rather dominant position for quite some time. But of course, things change. And in the beginning, we fought mainly with respect to intellectual property questions and all of the issues surrounding the scope of protection for software interfaces and the permissibility of reverse engineering under copyright law. And then through the 1990s, we were involved in other intellectual property battles, the battle over the Data Protection Directive, over the WIPO copyright treaty, over the Information Society copyright directive. And throughout that period, we were concerned about interoperability, and in particular, fostering an intellectual property law environment that would facilitate interoperability. Moving into the 2000s, we became rather deeply involved in the Microsoft cases and supporting, I think it would be fair to say, the Commission in its endeavors in that regard, intervening and supporting the Commission, for example, in the court case in Luxembourg. Again, of course, our focus was on interoperability and on fostering what we regard as a good environment for competition and innovation in the IT sector. Some people might regard those questions as being very arcane and technical. I think probably all of you in this room realize that they certainly are often very deeply technical questions, but these questions of interoperability are issues that have very deep effects, not only upon industry players, but upon consumers, upon citizens in today's society, and those issues become ever greater as the years go by. We've seen industry change, we've seen technology change from the era dominated by the mainframe, moving on to the era dominated by Microsoft. Not to say that Microsoft has become a weakling, it still has what I would regard as dominant positions in some very important markets. And now we're moving to the cloud. We're going to hear from Michail later about what the cloud is and how it's developed, and I shall leave that to him. I would suggest that the cloud's not entirely new. It's a natural development from things that we've been seeing going on for some time, but things really are changing. And in light of the changes resulting from the move to the cloud, we need to look anew at the same sorts of questions ECIS has been looking at for all these years, namely how to ensure interoperability, a healthy environment for competition and innovation in the IT sector. So we will